Oh, hello. Welcome to Unheard, Music from the Highlands, a special series celebrating original music from the Highlands of Scotland. I'm Siobhan Neelan, and along with Ellis McFadgen, over the course of this series, we'll be meeting the artists who are forging their own path in the music industry. Far from the usual scenes, but no less powerful in their sound and vision. From lockside bedrooms to village halls turned studios, these are the stories of musicians creating on the edge, pushing boundaries, blending influences, and staying true to their roots. This series is about more than just music. It's about place, perseverance, and the voices rising from the hills. This is Unheard. Welcome to Ellis's studio. I am Siobhan Neelan, and this is
Ellis McFadgen.
And now we have our guest today is Steve Robertson. Woo!
Okay.
I'm loving all the fanfare.
Yeah. Hi, Steve. Thanks for coming.
No worries. No.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here in the middle of nowhere.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in Narnia.
Could be anywhere. Secret location.
Years here in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I know my place.
Yeah, we're here. We're going to have a chat with you. We're going to be really nosy and ask you lots of questions.
Okay.
You know, and you've yes or no answers. That's all you're allowed.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Great.
Good listening.
Is that okay?
No.
No. So we have known each other for a wee while, Steve, through the music scene in Inverness.
Yeah, that's right.
But you're not from Inverness. So you're an imposter.
No, imposter. I'm not a million. So I'm born in Inverness and
right.
raised in Dingwall.
Oh, you're doing well.
But I've been living in Inverness for nearly 20 years.
Nice.
So
Okay, so you're very familiar with the scene.
So actually, yeah. So the Ironworks opened in 2006, and I moved shortly after that.
Oh, nice.
Because I was working there.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, from day one. Yeah.
Oh, what were you doing there?
So I started, originally I was doing a lot of local band stuff at Hootenannies. I didn't officially work for Hoots at that point, and they just asked me if I would do a local band showcase called Live and Unleashed, which is based on one of the titles of a Wolfstone album, because the guy, Wade Mackenzie, who started the Ironworks, he wanted to do this. And so I was basically programming those. That was the only thing I was doing. But those nights were going really well. There was like hundreds of kids coming to them. And then they just started saying to me, oh, do you think you could try and get some bands for us? And I remember this is 2006, and they said to me, we'll pay you £100 a week. And I worked pretty much full-time for that. They didn't say to me I had to do 40 hours, but I was just in it and wanted to do it desperately. And then a few months later, they're like, we'll give you a pay rise. And then I got another pay rise. But it's interesting because obviously Anne Shomar, I think that's how you pronounce it correctly.
Yes, The Room.
So The Room, yeah. So they've opened now, and I can see a lot of parallels between what we had. I don't work for them, but I can see a lot of parallels between what we experienced in the Ironworks. Because it's just not, people go, oh, what are they doing and stuff like this, but it's not easy to, you don't just phone bands and say, do you want to come? Because there's all kinds of logistics. You don't know the ins and outs of it. So like a really famous band, or even a not so famous band, might decide that we are doing the Barrowlands in Glasgow, and that is our Scottish date for that year, because we're going to be in Germany. So it's not a matter of just phoning and throwing money and stuff. Like, I mean, I got to know quite a lot of the agents in London through... Since this is live and exposed on this podcast, so basically by chatting up their assistants, they were all girls on the phone and stuff. So I got to get it in through that, you know.
He's
and
a
then
smooth operator.
but like not in a Russell Brand way though. But because you think mid-noughties, well, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it wasn't the 90s. You're okay.
Yeah, no. But like I can remember at one point where we almost had the Chemical Brothers going to play back then, and we were offering the money they wanted, even though, but it didn't add up for us, because back then, I think we were going to pay £20,000 for them to come and play, and the things. Then we were sitting in the office going, we would need to charge £35 a ticket, but nobody's going to pay that. And then obviously, fast forward 20 years later, and most concerts, the Hydro, £100, £150.
Yeah, it's so different.
Like, people would even today would rip your arm to see the Chemical Brothers for £35.
Yeah, 100%.
But back then we're like, we're not going to pay that, you know. And one of the other guys said, oh, we could book the Foo Fighters or something like that and charge £50. And again, we're like, no. The agents actually in London, they wouldn't have it either, because nobody wanted to be seen as greedy. You know what I mean?
I know. Whereas nowadays it's Ticketmaster's fault, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I think they get a lot of the blame, but like I think it's like it comes from Metallica allegedly, where they worked out they weren't getting album sales, so they thought if we just triple our ticket prices, we can make up for the lost income.
All right.
Yeah, so they obviously that's like I saw an interview with their manager talking about it as if like it was a smart business move. It maybe is because it's working for them.
Well, it's been replicated all over, hasn't it?
Yeah,
so
I personally feel it's disgusting. I actually talk about that a few times when I'm on tour with my band, because normally most of the tickets are like £5, £10 at the most, and I kind of say to everyone like. Don't spend all your money on Spotify and Ticketmaster things. If you want to go to these things and get them, that's fine. I'm not saying because they're there and they're going to be there. But like I'm saying, do try go see some local bands and stuff. You know. But I guess the thing with that is though, you want to go see local bands that interest you.
Yes, and
like I mean, I don't want to go see a lot. Even I'm really like a lot of local music, but I don't want to go see bands that I don't like.
Well, obviously. But what we had said before, though, is, you know, so if you rewind back your 20 years, you didn't have the platforms that are available now. So you don't. When we started talking about this nearly 2 years ago now, Ellis.
I thought you were going to say 20 years ago, this podcast.
No, 20 years going. As if. Took us long enough.
To come out of it,
yeah. But when we were talking about it, we were saying, you know, all these platforms.
I can't believe we're recording this in 2023.
And that was Steve Robertson.
Poor Steve, he's passed away now.
Oh, God forbid you ever. Jesus. That's one we'd have to edit out.
Yeah,
we'd edit that one out.
Well, I'll give myself my own obituary.
Jeez. Oh, you're a messer. So what we were talking about, go back to that, was we'd said that, you know, like you've got all these platforms, so there's almost like there's this array of choice, and there's so much choice going on, and it's free in a way, you know, so Spotify and all those things are free most of the time, and the cost is that now we're all competing for that attention of the customer. But when you're putting things on live, you're seeing the talent, it's there. And it's almost like, you know, the cash versus using card or contactless. It's directly, there's a real kind of direct correlation where that money will go. And, you know, the whole idea was, how do people survive within the music industry up here if we have a smaller crowd of people to come to the gigs, and you can't overcharge, and we don't have massive venues to make back the huge income for the artists. So it's kind of the double-edged sword slightly, isn't it?
Yeah. I think as well, I totally agree on the live side. I mean, we played a gig last summer upstairs, as in I say my current band, Space Van, and we were supporting an act called Anthony Gomes, and it was sold out before we were announced on the bill that we were going to play. And I mean, by sold out, I mean there was 100 tickets sold, and it was an upstairs, and it was great. But it was so hot that day in the summer that the sound system overheated. Really? And everyone had to go out onto the street. Like in the gig.
Oh my God.
And about 100 of us stood outside, and you would think people would be annoyed and stuff, but we could see they were fixing it, and the band kind of talked to everyone, came off the stage, and they actually used it because they sold a lot of merch at this point too. And it didn't happen when we were on stage, and that's one of the best gigs we've played as a band. So we sold all our t-shirts as well that day. But anyway, we're all outside in the street, and we're thinking this gig might not happen, and I'm actually the person that's put it together, so I'm really worried it's not going to happen, and I was trying to and then it goes, great news, we're all back on stage, and then kind of telling people that story I've just told you now, and people are like, "Oh, do you have any videos or anything like that? Were the band good?" And he goes, "I don't have any videos," and they're like, "What?" And he goes, "You had to be there."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This isn't happening in your living room.
No,
it
I know.
isn't on YouTube. Yeah, the experience was there, you know.
Yeah.
It's a case of it's a live thing. It's usually people can't get out of their head. It's instantly available.
It's organic, and it's just like, you know, like I can watch Live Aid Queen playing as many times as I want. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I can get a feel for it. You know, but I'm not going to get the sensation.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, or any other band. And that's a really big gig, obviously. But the point is, or if you know, like people have told me that, like people I know that I saw Led Zeppelin or even Jimi Hendrix and stuff, and they've told me what it's like, and it sounds wild, but
yeah.
I can't watch it on YouTube or I can watch Woodstock. Obviously, you get what I'm trying to say. That whatever, even if it did exist, you know, it's like you can't replicate that emotion, you know, you get from live music.
Yeah, I think because like last year, so you spoke about, and Mark, your bandmate from Space Fan, spoke about that gig that you did at Belladrum and how amazing it was. So even as a performer, what you get from those amazing performances. So that was describe that scene, because I didn't go to that.
Okay, no, but to be fair, you were playing at the same time.
Oh, that's true. That is true, actually. But I promoted you.
Yeah. If you're not enjoying this, go see the other.
Space Fan are way better.
I don't know. It's all subjective, isn't it? Yeah. No, so we got booked for the. I'm trying to think. So the first year we were a band. I'll take it back. This is our Belladrum kind of story. We asked Belladrum, could we play a slot, and we thought we would be on the what's it called, Bella Bar.
Yeah.
The Bella Bar. So we were totally fine with that, and then we got through the form, and they said we're on the seedling stage, and we've only been a band when we get this form like months. Do you know what I mean? And we're jamming and we're still kind of writing our songs and stuff, and we think that we've got the nucleus of something like really good. Even from the first jam, like we're like, wow, this could be really good, you know. And so then we get booked, and it goes great, and the tent's maybe half full when we play, and a lot of friends come see us and they say that's really good and stuff. But we know that we're like, can we swear on this podcast?
Absolutely.
Well, I don't swear, son. But like, no, we know we're getting our stuff together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
oh, you're going to say shit.
Yeah,
you can say.
You can say it for me. Like, in case my mum listens to this, you know.
Oh, no, sorry.
And so anyway, to be serious, we're getting our shit together, and even then, and then the next year, like they say, well, like we get booked again, but we actually are on the Bella Bar stage, and I don't want to sound ungrateful, but we hated every second of it. Absolutely hated it. Like like just because like we got kind of flung on stage and the sound guy set us up quickly, and don't get me wrong, the guys under duress. We didn't feel that like you clock watching else. Yeah, of course, yeah.
Not too bad.
Yeah, I'll try it. Hold there. Is that fine?
Yeah. That's
just a bit heavy. Was it?
Okay. So we I don't be ungrateful, because the guy's under duress. He's got to turn over like 1 million bands that day, but we just kind of was like, that'll do, you know. And it's so busy. And the next year we're like, I think that like we need to really start we really start looking at this. We don't want to just ask to play Belladrum every year. So the next year we didn't ask to play, and we went on a little tour. We went to Newcastle, London, and some other places in England stuff. We had an absolute ball, and we were happy not to do it. Then they invite us back to play 2025.
Yes, yeah.
And they give us a seedling slot. It's like 4:30 in the afternoon, and the guys are like, well, that'll be busy, won't it be busy? We were like pushing it, and we're making all these kind of funny memes and putting them online. Yeah. And the Belladrum people like seem to enjoy it because they're sharing them.
Yes. You
know what I mean? Just we're putting this promotion then, and we got like so we're like, wow, let's see what happens. But when we were sound checking, like nobody's there to watch the sound check. So our friend Ricky, who drove us there, Ricky from Lucid Liars, we'll talk about a bit. Like he's who you met that day as well.
Yeah.
When I saw him.
Oh yeah.
He was the other guy there. Yeah. Anyway, he's the only person watching a sound check.
Yeah.
And all this, we thought, well, this could be us just playing Ricky and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But like
Ricky likes us though.
Yeah. But we'd asked our friend Darren from do you know Darren from the music shop who fixes guitar?
Famous Darren.
Yeah, so Darren used to do some announcing for wrestling. He used to MC for that, so we asked him if he would do an introduction for us, and that, you know.
God, yeah.
So we put him on, and the tent's like nearly full at this point.
Wow.
And by the time he's finished his introduction, we're all on the stage and stuff. It's chock-a-block and stuff. And I always remember we've got this bit in the song where we always get Mark to say like in our first song in the middle into it, like, can everyone come forward? And most people do. But in the video, we've got a video actually of us playing, and it's funny, Mark goes, I normally say to people, can you come forward? But there's no more room. So just stand where you are. Drink beer. Have fun. And all this. But anyway, that is probably my favourite gig to date. It was actually exhilarating. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, and it just went like, and then we noticed they have this clock on the seedling stage with the time counting down your slot and stuff. And we had about 3 minutes left, and we had like a 3.5 minute tune, and the drummers look at me, well, we chance it. And I'm just like signaling to go straight into the song to them and all this, and I'm saying to people like, goes, this is the last song, but we might be 30 seconds over, but we're freaking out, and the band on before us overplayed by 10 minutes.
Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, I know.
It's just because we're freaking out because we don't want to be those guys, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you asked me originally, what was that like? I mean, if you can't tell, like, I mean, I'm still like buzzing about it today.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I mean, you, like, so there's nothing. So even if you had I'd say 1,000 listens to a new song released, you know, versus that feeling. You know, I think the part of performance is, it's almost that's like the hit that you get from performing, you know, if you get gigs like that. But then you have the gigs where you only have Ricky.
Yeah.
You know, that there isn't many people around. So, you know, and that's what the up and down is like, isn't it, from performing? And then kind of job of the promoter, so you've got like all this triangulation going on because you have the performer, the promoter, and then, you know, the writer and stuff.
I think that, I know you say about the promoter there, but I mean, I think even when I put gigs on now, I see myself as more of an organizer. I think that, like, I can't single-handedly fill a room for anyone, like, you know, on a local sense, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I could do if, like, if you're like Led Zeppelin are getting back together, you know, and they've asked me to sort out the gig, I think the word of mouth will do that itself. Do you know what I mean? If there's lots of marketing and there's things are established, but for a local band, you can only do so much and stuff. And I feel sorry for like I know guys that are promoters and they don't necessarily work with local bands, but what they want to do is bring things from up and coming bands from Glasgow and Edinburgh. I used to do a lot of that in Mad Hatters and Hootenannies. So I say that because I was the programmer there for some time. I'm aware that my life story, and this is jumping all over the place, but
okay.
But anyway, like I feel sorry for these guys because they go curate a lineup, and it's a good lineup, especially if you like that kind of music. But they're lucky they sell 14 tickets.
Yeah,
and it's no fault of theirs because they've got posters out. They put it on Facebook. They've maybe spent money on ads and stuff. But you can't educate people. Like, I mean, like this is why I personally feel that things like BBC Introducing are actually kind of in the past anyway. I don't know about now because I've seen recently there's been a lot of even acts from the North played recently on them. But in past, like I feel that like that they maybe don't do enough justice to breaking new acts and that, you know, like the BBC in general, like BBC Introducing feels like that's where we just stick all our new stuff in that, you know. Where like I mean we pay for the BBC with our licenses, or if you have a license anyway, like and then like, but the stuff that they produce on the or they play on the radio is things that radio pluggers pitch with big budgets. So how from major record labels, how does that work? You know, it's like, should it not be more community involved? You know, focused. You know.
Well, and so the thing with the BBC, so not at all in their defence, but more in an observation, because we have an equivalent in Ireland, RTE.
Yeah, I've heard. I know. Yeah.
RTE, Radio Television, and. So it is supposed to be set up as an equivalent, but we have so much local radio.
Okay.
And what you don't have in Scotland is proper local radio anymore.
No.
And we spoke about that in our first episode. It's crucial to trying to get local music heard and out there. So the Highland Hospital Radio and maybe what Dougie Burns is doing and the lads there is amazing. But Dougie's doing that every week, and he's trying to get local acts out there. That's a volunteer run charity. That's, you know, it's crazy that there isn't a local radio station. Well,
it used to, when say when the Ironworks opened, even before that, Marion Scott used to have a local, used to have a show on Murphy Radio every Sunday, and she used to have lots of local bands and guests and things like this, and it was, everyone wanted to be on it. It was very well received. And all this, and it was always fun to go on and stuff. And but she put a lot into that, and there wasn't a lot of I understand, I could be very wrong, there wasn't a lot of money for her to do that, do you know what I mean? But that wasn't what it was really about, you know. And she loved doing radio, and also like she could see the local music scene kind of like springing together, do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, there was a big, for contemporary bands, there was probably quite a big boost in the early to mid noughties. I mean, I remember there used to be a jam night in Mad Hatters when it first opened. This is 2005, and sorry, I cut there. This is 2005, and lots of bands, including my first band, Kobe.
Let's just hear a wee bit of Kobe.
Do you tell them the truth that you lie, and you cheated on me, made mistakes.
We turned up just desperate to play a few songs, to play in front of people, and there were loads of people there and stuff. I don't think that like if you did that in Inverness on a Wednesday night now, it would be that well attended. If I'm honest.
Yeah,
with you.
no, yeah. The attendance has changed, or the attitude to attending things has changed.
The culture has changed. I mean, like for a very, very long time, it's been quite busy at Pat Dennis's open mics. I went to a couple in December that weren't so busy.
Yeah.
But time of year, I think.
Yeah,
you know?
possibly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think like I don't. But I mean, there's that, and you obviously run an open mic too. We've just we did a. So I'm part of a non-profit called Musicians Exchange Highland.
Yeah.
With again, funnily enough, with Ricky.
Oh, cool. Okay.
From Lucid Liars.
Yeah.
Who's got a lot of background in the care sector, as well as music, so he kind of brings that to the table. And also Nick Firth from Hootenanny, who's a musician himself.
Oh, right.
In the trad world, yeah. So we have this, you know, I'm kind of the, I guess you would say, organizer, main sort of, they're on the board, you know.
Okay,
But anyway, we did a community jam at the Dingwall Community Centre last Sunday, and on the day, like, so I'd organised for a drum kit to be there. We got a hold of a sound system, a vocal system from a local guy, Johnny McPherson from Dingwall.
Johnny Mac, yeah.
Yeah, he's a bit of a Dingwall legend.
I know,
Yeah. I thought you might. Everyone does, you know. And anyway, so he dropped that off. We got a bass amp organised and guitar amp stuff, and then lots of people text me in the morning saying can't make it, and I'm like, whew. This is going to be, and the best thing is I've been DJing in 3 a.m. Abbey Moor the night before, and like the time I got to sleep and stuff, actually realistically it was 5 a.m. Then I was on a bus out of there at 9:30, then straight through Dingwall, and then set up all the stuff, and then kind of waiting an hour, got all these texts, and do you know what? I was absolutely, couldn't be more wrong. It was packed out.
Oh, amazing.
Like young people and stuff. There was a girl as young as 12 sung for the first time in public that day.
Oh.
And young guys just jamming, didn't know each other, just getting out and jamming and stuff. But then again, also on top of that, there was a guy there in his late 60s that had just been playing guitar for a couple of years, first time playing in public, and he just jammed with the rest of us and that, you know. And we just did some 12-bar blues and stuff, and then it was like,
amazing.
When's the next one? When's the next one? And I was like, wow, this is so good. I mean, and the thing is, it was done, like I say, I think with these things now, the reason I say non-profit is because I think if you want to do these things and you think you're going to make money at them, that's the wrong mindset. I think because I'm at the point now where doing these things where it's more about giving than, you know what I mean, like I have ways to make money in my life and that, you know, so I don't need to think that I need to charge everyone a £5 to get here or something. Do you know what I mean? I just want people to do it. But I think the local music scene should hopefully benefit. Like, I mean, if that girl keeps singing and she's 12, she could be like
You're
in
next
bands.
to Adele.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or she could just be like the next Space Fan or something. Do
Oh,
you know what I mean?
sorry, yes,
yeah,
of course.
Yeah, or the next Siobhan. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, don't become a waster. That's all I'll say.
Okay, you call me a waster.
Okay.
The point is, like, they could be like people, you know, like doing things and making music in the local scene. Or you're absolutely right. They could go to like the stage school or something like that, me Adele. But like it's hard, you know. But like I say, things have fairly changed in the last 20 years in the local music scene. And I don't want to be one of those back in the day people, because I don't actually use that expression. Yeah. Because we're living every day, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Well, you can definitely learn from, like, so because it's a curious thing. Because Ellis, you've been in the scene, and it's been a different scene what you were involved in, and it was down Argyll and then up on the west coast.
Oh, indeed, aye.
You know, and like
over
so
the years it
over the
changed,
years, yeah.
I mean, we were more into traditional music up the west coast. And over here, there's quite a lot of different stuff going on.
Yeah.
You can't go to everything. You feel guilty. I'm feeling guilty about not going on Saturday to Dingwall. You know, but I just couldn't get there, you know.
Yeah.
But you can't go to everything.
You can't go to everything, no.
And there's just so much on there. And people say, oh, did you go? No, I didn't. Oh, you should have done.
Yeah. The guilt. Yeah.
Every single person who texts me said they couldn't make it, I just say, that's no problem. I'm not going to go back to them and go like, oh, what? That would depend on you.
Yeah, no.
We need you here.
Yeah, but they'll want to go the next
busy.
time. They'll go the next time because I suppose the thing is you're trying to open it out to newer people. That was the whole idea as well, to get people who were not
everyone that texts me, they text me later on and goes, "How did it go?" And I just told them basically what I told you there, and he goes, "That sounds really good." And so I think you're probably right. They probably will go next time. It's a funny one though, because at the end everyone was like, "Same again next month," and I was like, "He goes, I'll be quite honest, guys. I can't put this together for you every month."
Yeah.
And at this point, it needs someone to kind of like make it run. It could probably in 6 to 12 months' time, or probably actually a year's time, because if it's not every month, it could probably start to run itself at some point.
Yeah.
But right now, I mean, like, it was. There were people that came from Dingwall just to watch. I mean, that's the thing I said. Like, you don't have to play. Come along, watch. And the community centre did like teas and coffees for people.
Oh, wow.
And they weren't charging for that either. They were just making them like for people and you know, the people just came along and goes, "Wow, I just want to see what it's all about," and he goes, "This has been really good," and that. But like, it was a bit to start with the Steve Robertson show, because like Steve's on the mic, Steve's talking to people, Steve's doing this, Steve's on the bass, Steve's played a bit of guitar. But thankfully, once we got half an hour into it, I mean, like, conjuring other people, like, you know, you could play the bass, because they didn't want it to be me playing for 2 hours or something like that.
No, but sometimes you do need to lead it.
You know, just to get started.
You do need to lead it, I think, because
it's a right good community effort.
Yeah.
As you say, to do that, you need the people to volunteer their time and their enthusiasm that you've done, because without that, it doesn't actually get off the ground.
Yeah.
You made it. Yeah.
Well, I told the guys from Alien and the Energy that they're a local cover act, but I think they've got some original projects involved, and their drummer is Jack Nicholson from Lucid Liars. I told them about it, and most of them, the guitarists didn't actually make it, but they came through and they sung like Superstition, and they've got a fantastic bass player, and he played that. And Jack, like, he played drums a lot of things. And another drummer came in. Even the girl got up and sang, like, I says, "Do you want the drummer to play with you?" He goes, "Well, could you organise that?" And he goes, and like, I said to Callum Wood, he goes, "Callum, you're up." And he goes, "Yeah, no problem." He just jumped on the drums and started playing. Like, yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, and and there's like, and even a young guy came over to me at the end. He goes, "I want to come up and sing a song. Could you play bass with me?" He goes, "Yeah, that'd be no problem. Do you need to know the chords?" And he goes, "No, we'll just figure it out." And then he hit me with every chord in the book, and I'm like, because the thing is, he's developing his craft, though, you know. We find it somewhat funny, do you know what I mean? Because I don't know if you know Kenny McLennan. He was playing piano. He played piano on the community piano they have in the room, which just sounded beautiful. And we didn't obviously mic up the piano or anything. It was just there, you know. And but like, I'm really quite excited about where that can go. So, and we also, on top of that, we have a monthly showcase at the Market Bar, first Wednesday of each month. It's not happening right now until the upstairs opens longer in the week and that. But we've had some really good acts come along there. We've had people play their first gigs there. I'm going to say gigs, I mean gigs, obviously. Like, and I've kind of sort of said to Pat unofficially that, like, some of the people that go to his Thursday nights, if you're thinking like, well, what's next for me? You know, give me a shout and I'll try and get you on, and that, you know, get to play for half an hour and stuff, you know. So, I mean, we're not officially linked, you know, but it's like, it's a good bridge.
It should be collaborative, shouldn't it?
Yeah. There's no point if someone's putting in a bit of effort trying to like build a foundation, there's no point ignoring that.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and we're just doing our own thing here and that, you know. So.
And do you think since the Mad Hatters, because Mad Hatters was one of the first places I had gone in town, when I moved here, that I was like, oh wow, that band's crazy. That's a great band, and they'd be visiting bands and stuff. And so, in the absence of that, not necessarily the Ironworks, because the Ironworks was bigger, but the absence of venues like as the size as well that you had for Mad Hatters, there's kind of a gap there, isn't there? That middle ground gap.
It's interesting because hindsight's an amazing thing. So when we were in the trenches, Mad Hatters. So I officially, so I started working in the Ironworks in 2006, and then the Ironworks was taken over by a new team in 2008, and that's the team that remained until it closed. And full credit to the people that team. If they hadn't been told that it was getting knocked down by a hotel, they would still be there now. I'm confident of that now. They weren't running. A lot of people go, oh, it would be. A lot of people say stupid things like that annoy me, like, oh, it would still be there if there was a demand for it. It goes, no, they get told to stop by the owner. Do you know what I mean? They didn't go, we've had enough of this. You know, they would still be there right now. You know what I mean, doing good things, and that's very much like, I stopped working there as far back as 2014 at the Ironworks. So that's very much, I feel that opinion is not biased. I think that's what I see as an outsider.
Yeah, well founded.
Do you know what I mean? Like, but anyway, the Mad Hatters thing is interesting because when we were in the trend, I started working there in 2008, and they were doing like quite a lot of cover band stuff in the mix, and I more or less, with the exception of the Mystic Shoes, because I kind of count them as a market bar kind of band.
Yes.
I don't know if you know the Mystic Shoes.
I haven't heard them. I know of them, and I know
they played
they're very
again recently on the
talented.
Quiet, on the Quiet
birthday
Donny
party.
Fraser's birthday. Yeah. So like, and I wasn't there, and it's like, so I've seen some videos, but I have a feeling again we were talking about experiencing things. I think it would have been quite wild to be there at that party. You know?
Oh, I'd say it would be amazing. Yeah, I've heard that. It's absolutely amazing.
But like we only used to book them, and then I sort of scrapped all the other cover bands we had playing there. And but at that point, if you were in a cover band, there were loads of places to play. There's not now. You probably could play in town Johnny Fox's.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking cover bands,
yes,
not cover,
yes.
not
I
cover
know.
acts and that. No, I'm very much saying that for the listeners.
No, exactly.
I know you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Because you were looking straight at me when you said that.
Oh, just we're on the same page,
Yeah.
But yeah, so I scrapped that, and we very much invested in local bands and bringing bands up from Glasgow. So we had a lot of bands that were playing King Tut's, Sneaky Pete's in Edinburgh, that kind of stuff. But all the shows were free. But it didn't always work in our favour, because sometimes we would get even like let me think, like the Joy Formidable, they come up to play, and it was, do you know them? They're a Welsh band.
No.
They were quite exciting, and they were doing I think they still technically exist, and they were playing, and they were doing a lot of like quite exciting stuff, and they were on the radio and that, but we couldn't sell like 30 tickets for them, because nobody was used to the idea of paying to go to Mad Hours. It's for free at the weekend. Why am I paying for this? You expect me to pay £10 on a Sunday?
Yeah.
And all this. And in fact, I remember one of the people that bought a ticket was Karen Gillan, and it was the day after they showed the Doctor Who episode, which I'm actually a fan, but I hadn't seen her in that episode yet.
Yeah.
And the barman that worked with us, like Ian Howie, who's a musician himself, came over and goes, "You can't judge her. She's like the Doctor Who companion," and stuff. And I thought, well, if she can't afford to pay Ian, who can afford to pay to come to this? And then even when she came, because her face did look a bit like, oh, what we have to pay. Her face said that, when I said it's £10 each, and she gave me a £20 note, and that's the only time I've ever met her,
And she gave you the right amount of money.
You said Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've been I think, like, I feel quite sorry for her, because, like, I do remember once I saw her that she'd been drinking hootenannies when she'd been home, and she went away to study that for years and years. So I knew her face and that. And I think when she does go in hoots now, people make a fuss of her and stuff. And I kind of think that's not cool. Do you know what I mean?
You just need to be able to go and chill out.
They don't just say hello, can I get a selfie? They're like, they're in her face. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, calm down.
I actually don't know what she. Well, it's not that I don't know what she looks like. I just don't. I wouldn't recognise her on the street.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I would make a fuss of her. I'm joking.
We saw Peter Capaldi in Glasgow with Lucid Lyres one day, and they were playing the 13th note, and he walked past, and they were like, "You should go out and say hello to him." He goes, "No, I'm not going to bother him." Like, do you know what I mean?
He'd love that though, Steve. He'd have loved if you did.
Well, Peter Capaldi.
Yeah, he would have loved that.
Yeah,
I'd
think
say so.
A full Malcolm Tucker thing.
Yeah. Let loose. Oh my God.
Yeah. Because you appeared on television doesn't make you public property. You can't.
I know.
Demand. Absolutely, it's a job. Yeah. We wouldn't make a fuss over like, oh, that's Ellis's plumber. He does the plumbing for Ellis.
And actually Ellis said he's amazing, and so I would make a fuss of him.
Well, I'll point it out next time you see him in the street.
Yeah. Now see with the Lucid Lyres, you've mentioned Kobe and Lucid Lyres and Space Van, and you've brought music along. I want you to, which one of those 3 tracks do you want to introduce and give us a little bit of a background into this? Because the recording and recording of songs is, to me, it's always been a bit of a mystery of how people do this so well. Ellis knows it's quite complicated for me.
Just because you said Lucid Lyres there, I think we'll start with the Strawberry Wine by Lucid Lyres, which is one of the tracks in their forthcoming album, which comes out on the...
And what's your connection with Lucid Lyres?
So I'm the manager of the band.
Oh, wow.
So I've been managing the band since... I've managed a lot of bands in my time.
Yeah.
So I've been managing them probably coming out of lockdown and stuff. So, I mean, they've gone through their lineup changes and that as well. They've had the same singer and drummer pretty much the whole process. But when they first started, they didn't have a bass player. They had a keyboard player. Okay. So now there's 4 of them in the band now. There's Joe Turner singing, as well as Ricky Mackenzie on vocals and guitar. Jack leads them, on bass. Right. And Jack Nicholson, I've already mentioned, on drums. And they self-record everything.
Wow.
And Ricky mixes it. The most recent album was actually mastered by Ian McLaughlin.
Oh wow, brilliant.
Yeah. So that's getting another local person involved. I think I don't the insides. So like Ricky listeners go, that's not what happened, Steve. But I think it maybe to get a fresh set of ears on the master.
Yeah.
The previous albums have been, but I think that they went through a process of they were going places and they were recording and they weren't feeling it, and they just took it all in house. They bought drum mics and stuff, and they've just learned the process. And
That's amazing, because that's building on what Steve Bull said, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ellis?
It's much the same lines. Because all the technology's there now, and you can do it fairly economically.
we tried to record our last single with Space Van ourselves. Actually, we could maybe talk about that before we play the Space Van.
Yeah, okay, cool. Right, well, here's Lucid Liars, so and Strawberry Wine. Thanks.
You keep telling me that I'm good, but I've been smiling and laughing and things were going so good. With that look on your face that you know why you don't care about the state I'm in. You tell me to live for the day is going to look to the future. When you play games, you play games while I'm making plans. You taste like strawberry wine, giving up all my time. Walk a dangerous line, like strawberry wine.
That sounds great. Yeah, thanks, Steve. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, Ellis, what were you saying there? What were you saying there? What were you talking about? The Space Van track.
Yeah, we're going to ask Steve more about Space Van, if he can enlighten us a wee bit more on what he's doing with Space Van now.
Okay, yeah, no problem. So we're actually working on recording our own album. I don't actually think so. So at the start of every year, we have a band meeting and we all decide what we're going to do this year.
Yeah.
And usually the meeting starts with me going, right, boys, what's the plan? And then there's silence, and then they say, tell us what we're doing. Do you know what I mean?
You haven't told us the plan yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't decide if I'm actually really good at managing bands and having ideas, or just more opinionated than everyone else.
There could be a mix of both, Steve.
Do you know
There
what I
doesn't
mean?
have to be either column.
The other guys are very easygoing though, you know.
Yeah.
It's like if they don't want to do something, we don't do it. It's as simple as that. We've always said if one person doesn't want to do it, we don't go, oh, but everyone else wants to, and there's only three of us, so it's not hard to the clashes.
Well, how
You've got
long? Oh, yeah, sorry, Steve. You go.
When you've got such a depth of experience in all aspects of bands and whatever,
Yeah.
you can't just suddenly unlearn it and keep quiet when somebody asks a question. You have to allow your knowledge to come out to influence the conversation.
I've grown quite adapted actually. I've been around other bands that I've had nothing to do with at all, and like I think 10 years ago, if I was in a room and I heard a band talking, I'd be like, no, you don't want to do that. But these days I'd be like, cool, it's your band. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, and that's what I should have been doing 10 years ago, to be honest. Actually, that's a self-development thing, it's like, and it's like, because the thing is, like, some people do things like so my thing with the local music scene is like, and this is probably where a lot of people won't like me saying this, but I don't personally want to play Inverness all the time.
Yeah.
Or every week. And I see value as in like, so we're talking about Space Van now. So we played, let me think. We only played one gig in Inverness last year, and it was with that Anthony Gomes gig.
Yeah.
And it was sold out before we even announced.
Yeah.
So and then when we played Belladrum, the tent was packed out. I mean, it was ridiculous, and I'm not making this up. But there's videos on our Instagram. People go look where friends of ours like tried to get in to see us, and they couldn't get in to see us because it was too busy. That thing, and that wouldn't have happened if we were playing the Market Bar every week. Don't get me wrong, the Market Bar is brilliant. It's my favourite bar. It's probably the closest thing I've got to a local.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's absolutely very important. I mean, I've played there with all my bands, I think, and Yeah, all my bands have been long term. We played there in some shape or form, actually.
Yeah.
And even Space Fan, we played there early days and stuff, you know. And don't get me wrong, it's got like there are people that want to play this, but just I'm not saying that it's wrong to play these places then, but I just don't want to.
Yeah.
But like it depends what kind of. So I want to be the kind of band that plays, and it costs money. You have to pay to see. And it's not to fill my pockets and stuff, just because I want to add that value to people and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I want to give them like, so if you pay £10 to see us, you get a show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. I don't want to just be going through the motions and that. I mean, I DJ a lot of the weekends, and quite often it's free to see me and stuff. And but I know that I can never take that to a big venue and say it now costs £20 to see me, and people are like, well, we saw you in Soundbar last night for free. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, and that kind of thing. So yeah, but that's like, I just don't personally get it, you know, like, and there's
an exclusivity. I think what you're describing is that exclusivity. We're only playing 4 gigs a year, so, and people generate that like excitement about going to see you.
Yeah.
Whereas if you are available all the time to see, even if it's ticketed, it's not as exclusive.
So so this year's gig, we've been asked by Lucid Liars. So it's kind of neat because we're technically, I guess, on the same roster, so to speak.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like to like, and I think it's nice when like historically, like years ago, I used to manage an instrumental band called Shutter, who still technically kind of exist. They come out of the woodwork when they want and play the odd gig and stuff. I'm not involved in them in any sort of outside of a friendship, you know, any sort of business level. I probably wasn't even back then. It was just like a pal that was like. I'll sort out all the gigs for you and all this sort of stuff. But it went far beyond what we thought it would. I mean, they did support slots with like the Deftones and played King Tuts and all kinds of stuff. And we had I remember they were recording their debut album in Glasgow at the Chem 19 studios, and like we had A&R reps wanting to come through and listen to the demos and stuff.
Yeah.
And the producer working, Andy Miller, says, you probably should just leave it. Don't do that because this is not ready, do you know what I mean, to do and stuff. I'm not sure that would have made any difference, but I mean, it did feel a bit kind of fun, but we just took it as it came, you know, and that kind of... But anyway, like I also managed another band from Elgin called Small Enclosed Area, and those two bands did a lot of gigs together and worked together and stuff, but they were friends, they liked each other and that, and it was as simple as that. It wasn't really about, you know, musically it did work, you know, like things. Yeah. But I think it's nice for like bands to have people that they want to work with and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
You mean like collaboratively in
I just mean
music?
sharing some lineups and stuff like that.
Lineups,
you know, lineups and stuff. You know, I mean, we've in some shape or form used nearly every member of Lucid Liars to fill to depth in Spaceman.
Right. Okay.
At some point, at some point, you know, so
and
it's because we can go to them and say, "Could you play drums?" You know,
could you do
guitar?
vice versa as well?
Probably not. No. No, I play bass for them for one gig, and then afterwards it's like, it's not for me, boys. And they work totally different to us. Like I'm sure they wouldn't mind, you know. Like they like it. Well, it's I think now they work a bit similar to us, where they go in and just jam out ideas and stuff. But back then, like Ricky would write all the songs and all the parts, and you had to learn all the part stuff. That isn't my style. Do you know what I mean?
Right,
like,
wow.
you know, but don't get wrong. Like, I mean, that's not. Ricky probably will listen to this and be like, what the hell, Steve?
No, but that's like, interesting.
But it's like, but it was perfect for them though. Like, and everybody else was on board, and they had a keyboard player, Craig, he's a great guy. I think he was delighted to learn the parts that he was given him rather than thinking of stuff.
Well, everyone works differently,
In my head, it's like, no, the way you've played bass in this, like, I mean, it's just not my style. Whereas, like, everything in Space Fan, like the bass parts wise and stuff, like I've written, like collaboratively, I think I've written 20-30% of the lyrics. You know, Mark's done most of them, you know. Yeah. You know, so but it's funny when I write lyrics, I try to pretend I am Mark to. I can't be me because like we have different ideas.
Mark's brain works differently.
No, Mark's very. You've met Mark. He's a very happy. He's a very happy-go-lucky chappy and stuff, you know. And he says when we first started the band, I'm sure he won't mind me saying this. He's like, "Hey, bro, I'm thinking we should write more songs about politics." Are you into politics, Mark? No. So it's like, well, this could be a minefield. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you don't know what you're right, but I guess I tell you what, let's not write about politics, and just sort of just be like kind of like we could just be a rock band. And he's like, let's write about like love and stuff like that. And he goes, I think everyone can like
relate to that. Yeah, you know?
And all this.
That's so funny. Yeah, well done, Mark.
Said somebody after I did a spot at an open mic in Glachbeg. Somebody, I won't say who, commented, it's just a jumble of words, it's not really a song. I'll not tell you on here who it was.
Do you know what? The thing is, though, when you listen to, and I like both bands, you listen to the Beatles and Oasis, you could maybe describe some of their songs as a jumble of words.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
you've probably everyone's seen that clip of like John Lennon when he takes the stalker into his house and that, you know.
No.
Oh no, I know it's amazing. He never got shot before, really, in his life, you know. But I mean, obviously, it's not a good thing he got shot.
Absolutely not.
For
Yeah,
like
but yes.
everyone's like, but he's,
What did he do? Yes, tell us.
so he has this guy in his house, and this guy's like, "Oh, you said this in your lyrics and stuff." He goes, "No." And he goes, "It's just words. It doesn't mean anything." And he goes, "I got up, I had a shit, and I just wrote this down. It means nothing. It's just a job."
Yeah.
And all this like. And
Well,
he goes,
Freddie
and he
Mercury
go-
says
yeah.
the same about their
Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but he's quoting like actual lyrics that you could find deep meaning in and stuff like that. But I think that's the beauty of lyrics, though.
Yeah.
Like what your interpretation is of a song. It doesn't matter what wrote it and where it came from. It's great to respect that. But if you find a song that touches you, but maybe something like association's a big thing, obviously, in music, isn't it? I mean, you could find a song and it goes, right, okay, I'm 21 again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I remember it was a summer's day and stuff. You know, it's like things unlock memories and stuff like that. You know?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what
you-
it's all about. Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not factual. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be
You
factual.
You can totally make it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so John Lennon says, "Oh, Dylan, McCartney, they're all the same as well," and stuff like that. You know, I think the guy finds that even more shocking, you know, and stuff, you know. But I think John saying that out of a level, it's worth watching on YouTube if you find
Yeah,
it.
I will, yeah.
It's worth it's from the Imagine movie, I think, or something like that, and like I think it's like he's frustrated with the guy. He's trying to be nice and stuff, you know. But it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy now because you wouldn't really probably hear about Lady Gaga taking like a stalker into her house and explaining that, like, you know, like
No.
poker face is.
And why we
I'm
say-
actually
yeah.
not knocking Lady Gaga because modern acts I quite like Lady Gaga. You know?
I think
Like,
she's great.
Yeah,
I actually do think she's a very talented.
I
lady.
think she's
Yeah.
very. I mean, her rise to fame is kind of incredible. You know.
Well,
yeah.
I'll tell you, my story about Lady Gaga is myself and my friend Niamh were out one night and Poker Face was her first song, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And this came on and we both rolled our eyes going, one hit wonder. We were so wrong.
You know your views.
Yeah, we were very, very wrong about that whole thing. And it's so funny, yeah.
I think the people that followed her afterwards, they all got that thing. So Katy Perry's like, people were like, one hit wonder. Who cares about kissing a girl and all this sort of
Yeah,
stuff? you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And then Taylor Swift, oh come on,
I know.
she's a one hit. No, it's like
No.
Chaperoning. No,
Yeah. Oh, she's fantastic. I really like
Chaperone's
her.
another person that's like, you know, is like, she actually, people may not realize, but it's all on her terms, you know.
It
You
is,
know, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
And she's
Taylor
been
Swift,
doing
obviously,
it.
but yeah,
She's been doing it since she was very young as well. Like
Oh, I've
she's
seen
been
the videos of her playing like piano with like an
Yeah.
open mic thing,
Yeah.
and that.
just
and,
really working hard. And I
Yeah.
suppose that's one of the threads of the conversation we've had as well in the conversations is it's hard work. So, you know, like there's nothing easy about, you know, as you're talking about the marketing strategy or the idea around having things as exclusive, but you can't turn up to that gig, that once every quarter gig, and be shit. You have to have practice. You have
Yeah.
to have good sound. It has to be cohesive. So there's nothing easy about it. It's hard work.
we practice every week, you know, like and we Ian McLaughlin's place. You know,
Yeah.
If people are looking for somewhere to rehearse and listen to us,
Yeah.
I'm Out Studios. Can
I'm Out,
recommend it
yeah.
more.
Where's that based in?
That's down like off the Carsgate or something like that. You know.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know, it's easy to find. You know.
Yeah. And it's a good setup.
It's a
and-
good setup, yeah. And Ian's doing like doing what he can for the local music
He is,
as
yeah.
well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And so, well, let's say with Space Fan then, so you talk about this song that you've brought in for Space Fan. So what was this song? And was this a Mark and Steve
yeah,
collaborative?
this one's interesting. This is I mean everything is well lyrically, yeah. So kind of Mark wrote all the lyrics. Just I suggested the song would be called "Talk About It," and then "Talk About It" became the main chorus lyric. You know,
Right,
so,
okay.
so like that. But it comes from a chorus chord progression that I had that I showed the guys. And then Mark had a little riff thing that we put in the thing, and then Ian had some ideas. Like, you know, I would never exclude Ian for the process because
Yeah.
Ian Hogg, our drummer, because it's just so vital and stuff.
Yeah.
We've done a few gigs without Ian because of like life, and we've always enjoyed them. We played King Tut's. It's quite unfortunate. Ian's son, he's thankfully recovered now. He was in an accident, I think he broke his toe or something like that, and Ian had to look after him, so he had to pull out the King Tut's gig. So that was quite a biggie for us.
Oh yeah, I remember you.
Yeah.
That was recently in the last.
Yeah,
month.
yeah, it's like October, November, something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
End of October, I can't remember. I think it was November. and we had a drummer lined up, and then he pulled out the start of the week. Like, and so we just said, right, we'll just get a session drummer, and thankfully, who's now a friend, Scott, he got in touch, and we just sent him the songs, and he goes, we just had a rehearsal with him, at the Berkeley Studios in Glasgow. Have you heard of that? Like, Berkeley 2 it's called. It's fantastic. I understand why such place doesn't exist in Inverness, but they have like 14 jam rooms with all the best of gear and stuff. And we paid £30 to be there for 3 hours, £35, something like that.
Wow.
And we were just in this kind of state of the, well, I don't know, state of the art's exaggeration, this high quality room, you know.
Yeah.
And then he turned up and he learned all our songs and all this, and we were just like blown away, you know, because we were like, this could go south quick, you know. We're in this situation now, you know. And it felt like a total mission because we got the train down, something to eat quickly, and then straight into this rehearsal thing, and then straight over to the sound check. And so the day just kind of flew in, you know. But, you know, that's a bit, you know what, it was kind of exhilarating at the same time, you know. You know, I was kind of like pumped for it, like, you know, and then when he started playing, I was like, wow. And we sent Ian some videos, and he's like, you've got the right guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, for that. So so Ian's like, does my mic keep cutting it out?
Yeah, it does. We don't know. That's the ghost wire.
1, 2. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just talking about, like, basically our band doesn't happen without the three of us, you know. I mean, like, if one of us left, I think it'd be over. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, well, I don't know. Maybe if I left, the two of them might try and do it, you know. But it's funny, like at Christmas time, like, I wouldn't have said we were falling out and stuff, you know, but I said to them, and I was kind of semi-joking, one of you guys can book the gigs next year, like, and Ian goes, right, well, I guess we will be playing Inverness every week.
Great. We know them lads. But I suppose it's because there's a want to feel it's a team. It's, you know, the three of you are a team essentially.
It's got to feel like that,
yeah, absolutely. And like individuals don't really exist in bands, although you get the front men, you know, if you have the main singers or whatever else like that. But you know, the success of any band is
we
a team.
we have a lot of fun with it. It's quite funny. I'm going to New York next month, and just on my own, and I've never been. I always wanted to go, and it's like, do you know what? I'm just going to book it. It's like a holiday. Yeah, it's not like a work trip or anything. And then Mark says to me last week at the jam, is like, he'd been out in November, and then he says to me, "Oh, hey, bro, I'm going to be in New York when you're in New York." And it's like, what? And he's like, yeah, can I just check those dates? Yeah, I'm there for like 2 nights. We're there. And he goes, will we hang out? And he goes, well, the thing is, Mark, I'm actually going to go jam with a couple of guys in New York. And he goes, what? and you can do that? It's like, yeah, man, you can jam in New York and with people on the music. And he's like, and he goes, you should come along. And he goes, oh yeah, that sounds really cool, let's do that. And then so that's organised. We're going to go jam in this place off Times Square with a couple of guys from New York, just play some jams and stuff. We might do some of our songs now, because I don't think he was going to be there.
Brilliant.
You know, so but I mean, it's just for fun. That, and he goes, it's like a gig. And he goes, no, it's not a gig, it's just we don't have visas for it. I'm actually really worried, but I don't even it's so messy. You wouldn't even want to do a free gig there. I mean, it used to be, you know, people, I'll just say you're not getting paid. But apparently it's that strict. You're not even meant to do that, you know. So
God.
So I just thought,
careful now. It's going over there.
Yeah. So anyway, that was my plan. One of the things I wanted to do was there, you know.
Yeah.
And it was just the way people's minds are. I'm not saying I've got an exceptional mind, but my mind's a bit different. I'm on holiday. I wouldn't mind playing some music while I'm out there.
I
you
know. No. I love that, because I did the Camino de Santiago in whenever it was in October, and I had it all in my head that I would be playing as I was walking. So each place that I'd stop, but because I didn't book into the hostels.
Okay.
Then that I missed that entire bit of the culture.
Oh, right.
Because I was staying in kind of just middle of the road places rather than the hostels. And I stopped at one of the hostels, and there was a guitar hanging up, and it was like rife for a session, you know. So when I go back, I'm going to be going onto the hostels so that I can at least play a bit of music. Yeah. Okay. You know, because that was a big gap in the whole thing.
I mean, I've got like so many things I want to do in New York, like, and they're maybe not typical touristy sort of things to do and all this, like, and. Like, bless Mark, he's just like, just gonna go for a massive session, like get drunk, get
his
high.
Instagram is either Space Van or memes of New York, basically.
He's missing it. Like he went, and honestly, he went and he loved it, you know. And he's missing it. He wants to go back.
That's so cool. It's amazing when you fall in love with a place like that. That's so cool.
I did think he was going round about that time, and I had booked mine ages ago, and then I said to him, like, he said to me, like, like what I just already said to you, it's like, so that's kind of nice that we were there for 2 days, you know.
Yeah, that's cool.
But also, like, he was a bit taken aback because, like, I'll definitely see you one of the days, and he's like, what? And then he's like, he goes, I'm just going to go to some bars now. You know, up for that? And he goes, not for 2 days, man. No, not on a holiday. I can go to bars in Inverness for 2 days if I want to.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
He obviously met some Irish people as well, because they're great crack over there.
Yeah.
That's definitely what's happened.
Well,
I'm making an assumption. So go back to this Space Fan song. So talk about it.
Yeah.
So talk about it is, you said, did you record this? Who did you record it with? Oh, go on. There's a story.
So we had the bright idea. This is not the recording you're getting here now. We had the bright idea we're going to record this ourselves. It was awful.
Right.
And then collaboratively, it was awful. I'm not blaming anyone in the band for doing it. Like, the drums were really bad and all this. Like, you know, like, the only thing that sounded decent was the bass guitar. And
I wonder who's on the bass.
Play that.
yeah, after I left, he did it again. That's always a worry, you know. Like, I've got friends that threaten to do that. You know, I'll record your band for you, like, you know, because and you'll redo the bass when I leave or something like that.
No way, man. So why did you? Was that just a financial decision to decide?
No, we just liked it. Well, to be honest, we were probably influenced by Lucid Liars. It's like we could do this, you know, and
you're not Ricky.
No, definitely not. Well, the thing is, he put the time in and learned the craft, you know.
Yeah,
we're trying to wing it, like with one studio station and all this. And I remember we brought these like not so good quality headphones, and we recorded the drums in the music shed when Dave Sidley still had it.
Yes,
and we could kind of hear the drums, and they were like, and I just knocked the session on the head mainly because we've been there for hours, and then poor Mark tried to mix it and stuff, you know, and then we asked someone else to have a go at it, like, you know, like mixing it, and they were like. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, since this is not a YouTube podcast, like at the moment I'm shaking my head.
Yeah, he really doesn't look happy.
Yeah, no, fine. And then like our friend that we asked to have a look at it, we said to her, we'd already actually done like a video and a live session with her maybe a year beforehand. I said, could you just record this for us?
Yeah.
So we went down and like we had a fantastic day in the studio. We were well rehearsed and stuff, and amazingly between trying to record the demo and actually coming to do it, like I never used to sing in the band at all. Now I do backing vocals and like in the band, and I literally started singing probably something like 6 weeks. And I'm talking about singing in my actual life. I'd never sung before in my life.
Yeah.
They had been at me for the Jewish band to do some oohs and ahs and stuff, and I was like, no, I can't do it. And then I just said, well, tell me exactly what you want to do. I know I just said that about the Lucid Liars thing, but when you've got no experience, you know, it's like sometimes it's better for you someone to say. So they did that, and and it's kind of funny because of that, like I was like practicing singing just like the basic kind of lyrics, you know, like for the chorus, like every day for like whenever I had time, I was practicing. Yeah. And then I was probably more practiced for that than I was for the bass, because just because I had confidence in that I could do that, you know. But like we probably spent more time doing the backing vocals than, you know what I mean?
But then, do they fill it out? Because I suppose that's the thing about it. If the song is the end product was good, that's fantastic. Okay, well we're going to lead us into Space Fan. Talk about it.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
The matter with you? Pick your face off the floor. Cry no more. I'm just
Thanks, Steve.
No worries.
I'm just going to ask you, what is next? So have you got gigs? You've got your Lucid Lyres and Space Fan.
Just breathing in there, sorry, not
He
sighing.
just got a bit of a oh my god,
totally.
don't talk about that.
I was like, no, not at all. No, so that's at the Rigmore Hotel, Saturday, February 28th.
Brilliant.
I'm pleased to say it's selling pretty well.
Yeah.
All going well. I think it'll probably sell out, which would be a massive achievement for both bands.
And where do we find tickets for that?
You can find them online at lucidlyres.com.
Great, okay.
In the ticket section for that, yeah.
Yeah, okay, excellent.
For that, or if anyone knows me, if they want to give me a shout, I can get them a ticket delivered. I've got some physical tickets. There's some tickets in the venue, so we're very much old school.
Yeah.
We actually found that like a lot of people did get in touch and goes, "Can you get me a paper ticket?"
Yeah.
You know, and people kind of say these things are out the window and stuff like this, but like it shows you that like
Yeah,
people
no.
are, "Can you get me a ticket?"
I'd asked you for one, didn't I?
Yeah.
I
That's
had
right.
asked you for one.
Yes, right, yeah.
Could you get two, please?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Super.
Is Siobhan coming?
Right.
No.
No, she's probably not.
Grandma.
Am I
Probably
coming?
she's probably playing a gig somewhere.
I'm going to Rumac that day, and I've got my children. So are children allowed, or is it an over 14s?
It's an over 18s.
Over
It's-
18s.
You went to the matinee with Rumac.
I'm going to the matinee.
So
and
you could drop the kids off and come back and see us play.
what time are you playing? 7
I'm not
o'clock?
on stage Sharp Estate.
Okay, I'll get a babysitter and I'll be there, okay?
Well,
Yeah.
I won't hold you to it.
Yeah, that's okay.
You'd be there if you wanted to be there.
I'm so
And, like,
non-committal. Ellis knows.
well, I don't blame you. That's how people are living their lives. And I'm being serious when saying that. You know?
No, I know.
Yeah,
It's a tricky one because, like what Ellis was saying earlier about you want to go to all the things, but there's so much happening, and I am so grateful that I have children, but I'm not able to go to all the things I want to go to, and it always happens that things are happening the weekends that I have the boys.
Well,
so.
you've seen Ellis, like so Ellis had an album launch. When was the album launch? Was it the end of 2024? Was it?
Yeah.
June 24.
Yeah.
The,
I was there. It was,
Yeah. So Ellis had me helping him do some promotion.
yes,
Yep.
yeah.
And we sat in the Victoria Market, and I was telling them to spread the word and stuff, and we literally sat there messaging and texting people,
Yeah.
and asking if they wanted to come. And I hope you don't make me say this also. We were probably about 12 minutes into it, and Ellis goes to me, "This is boring." and I goes, "This is the music industry."
Yeah.
And then I also said to you that day, "I'm going to tell you the most difficult place to promote gigs on the planet Earth and stuff." And then you said something to me like London or something like that.
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, Inverness."
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Full
Like,
of confidence after
Yeah.
that.
I mean, my hindsight's changed a little bit on that. Actually, I'm warmed a little bit now to it because it's just the fact, like, you know, when you're if you want. So for a while, I was doing gigs every month at Upstairs, and we're putting a lineup together, a little bit similar to what I was doing in the Ironworks, where I had those bills back in 2006 with the local bands.
Yeah.
And I was, but at the time you got so far into it, you start to lose. I started to anyway. It was going off what I wanted to go off, so I started to just put local bands on, and it's not fair on them. It's not fair on me because really I should put a local band and people should go, "What are the bands like?" And I'm going, "Great, fantastic. You have to see them." Not like, and I never said this to anyone. Like, they're all right.
Yeah,
I need
I
to
know.
get someone playing. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like, okay, if you're not doing anything, like, but at the same time, Casualty's on, so I understand if you can't make it.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like, you know, so it's like, so I don't really want to do things like that anymore, you know. So I've done a couple of shows through the Music Exchange with I've done a couple of shows now to help some bands out and get some gigs at the Tooth and Claw and stuff. So we had a gig at Christmas time with a band called the Cortex, who are like
Yeah.
a three-piece band. They're young guys and they're really good. And they've got an interesting dynamic where the drummer and the guitarist swap all the time.
Are these the guys from Aviemore?
No, they're from like Clodden and stuff like that.
Okay,
originally,
okay.
and Smith and that kind of area.
Okay.
And they live in Glasgow now. They're really going for it. They've moved to Glasgow as
Yeah.
an attempt to be in a band. And it's been a long time since I've heard anyone say that. We've gone to Glasgow to be musicians. Do you know what I mean? Like 20 years ago, like, I mean, people were saying that to me all the time. We're going to go to Glasgow and take a crack at this. But
But what makes me sad is that people aren't feeling that they can make a crack of it here.
yeah, you're right.
That does make me sad. You
You're
know,
right.
that this is the only option is to, and I know you need experience, but just,
But
you know, it's kind of a drain of
But you-
talent
But
sometimes.
you're also, once you go down that route, like, I've met people in London who were from Glasgow. They moved to London to
I
take
know,
a crack at it.
I know.
And I've met, on top of that, I've met people from London moved to LA
Yeah.
to make a crack of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's always
you know,
somewhere
it's
else
like
bigger.
so maybe so if you're listening to this, you should move to LA.
Stop. Don't do it. Don't do it.
No,
Liam.
don't do it because
Don't do
unless
it.
you want like
Is that
it's a
Laurel
difficult-
Avenue in Inverness?
Yes,
Is it?
yes.
Yeah. We'll get direct flights over to Los Angeles from.
Yeah,
That's what they
Downey.
call it.
Yeah,
Laurel Avenue.
LA.
I stay in LA.
No, it's good. It's exciting, Steve, and I love listening to your points of view. I love hearing what it's all about, because it's a huge amount of experience, and it's experience that people.
Yeah, I mean, it's all like it's all like pinch of salt stuff. Everyone's got opinions. Everyone's got their ideas. I'm respectful of other people and the way they want to do stuff. You know, if someone says to me, "Well, we want to play the Market Bar six times a year, and that's funded us to go on a tour," brilliant. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not what I would want to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
talking about at the end of the day, you play music because you enjoy it.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm coming from and saying what I would want to do. You know, it's not from like some kind of insider like entrepreneur like do this and get famous quick.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like kind of thing in this, like, and I mean, it's funny because like 20 years ago, like all the bands I was in or involved with, everyone wanted to get signed and stuff. I remember when I first started managing Lucy Liars, I says, "Well, so what do you guys want to do? Do you want a record deal?" And they were like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
And he goes, no, we he goes, and then he goes, "I've got like a decent job and I've got this and I've got a kid and I don't want any of this, you know. I want to do music on my own terms and that, you know, because at that time the music they were making, I thought maybe we could post it to Domino or something like that, but no, it's not what they're going for, anyway, you know. And
and you can see why, because there's not, you know, Steve Bull spoke about that really eloquently, didn't he? You know, how far off you are the mark if you want to go full time into this. It's such a huge climb.
Well, it's sad. Like, I mean, one of my friends, he was singing with a local band and he got fired last year. And people listening to this will probably know exactly who I'm talking about. I've decided not to.
I don't know who
to
you're
name
talking
him
about.
like. So I'm talking about Ellis. No, I'm not.
That's right. Yeah, I'm not listening. It's all right.
But anyway, like, I think I keep hitting this with my foot. That's what I'm doing. There you go.
All right.
And so like, so he got fired and he was awful upset. And then I said to him, like, what he phoned, and I understand why, and emotionally, I says, "Did you think this was going in big places?" Like, and he goes, "Yeah, I thought we'd make a record deal." And he goes, "Don't take this the wrong way, but you're approaching 40, and it's well known in the industry if you're not signed by the time you're 23, like, I mean, like, then you're probably not getting signed. Do you know what I mean? Like, the chances are very, very, like, very hard. I mean,
unless you're Gregory Porter.
Yeah, yeah.
Now he tells us.
Yeah. I know, God, flip it.
I know.
I'm 40 this year, so maybe I still have a chance.
When we were in Kobe, we had a meeting with let me see. We had a meeting with what, I can't remember what label it was. You know, we had all kinds of meetings. Like we wrote like the song All the Way, which I'm not giving to you today. It's on Spotify. Everyone wants to check it out actually. And like a lot of people in the industry like took notice of it. And in hindsight, if I'm honest, this is my opinion. I don't know if the other guys would agree. I think that's the song we had.
Yes.
So I don't know what would happen if we got a deal or something like. People were kind of interested in doing stuff with like smaller labels and stuff. But like I remember we were sitting in a room and one of the guys like said to us like, you know, you guys like you're just a little bit too old for this, like, and he goes, and I was about 30 then, and he looked at me and he goes, I mean, you've got to be like 25, 26.
Wow.
To me, and I was like, so he thought I was 5 years younger than I was, and then he's telling me I'm too old. Do you know what I mean? And I'm thought this stuff like, you know,
wow.
But who cares about age when it comes to music?
I know, I would agree. I think that's a crazy attitude.
I mean, you wouldn't have said to BB King, "You better pack us in now." Do you know what I mean? Or Johnny Cash, you know?
Yeah,
we've had enough of you now and all this sort of stuff, you know. And I also think that life gives people like a rich tapestry of stories.
That's it.
And
it evolves. Like, I mean, you know, your ability to make sense of things and put your creative spin on it. And that's no offense to any of the younger lads who are making brilliant music.
Yeah, of course,
But
it's wild, really, because the foundations of contemporary music is like a lot of it comes from, I guess you could say, people who are in the 27 Club. So you think about people like Jimi Hendrix,
Jim Morrison,
those things, and writing these lyrics and stuff, you know. And like I speak to people all the time that are like 23, 24 and stuff like this, and I couldn't imagine any of them writing. But I guess that's what made them exceptional.
Yes, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
That's exactly right. Yeah, I mean Janis Joplin. And
or Kurt Cobain in the 90s, you know.
Yeah. So concerned when it was coming up to my age was going to be 72, and I thought this is going to be dodgy because everybody dies at that. But luckily, I'm dyslexic.
Apparently, when the Eagles were playing their tour like a couple of years ago, he said like I had more fun in my in the 70s and my 20s than I'm having in the 20s and my 70s.
Brilliant.
But yeah, there's no start and stop as such if you're into from a creative point of view and you're still creating stuff that is good and acceptable and people are liking it and you enjoy doing it. That's smashing. Or if you're a performer, you're performing at the top of your game. That's good as well.
Yeah.
But it's as if you're just doing it for financial return, and the company that's managing you are just pushing the commercial thing, and there's a place for that, and it will work because they can push it forward. But I don't think that's a really satisfying thing from a creative point of view.
No, I don't think so. I think that the publishing world is a little bit different to the live side. So if someone wrote a good song and sent it to a label, and the label thought they could maybe use it and give it to like someone they're pushing, you know, there is options for that to be done and stuff, you know. Yeah, but like it depends. Again, we've talked about mostly about playing live and stuff, and that's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna scratch that itch for anyone, is it? Do you know what I mean? Like,
What,
you know,
to make
like,
money?
Well, no, not even to make money. Just that, I mean, yes, if you wrote a song and then someone else at a label bought it and they gave it to, I don't know,
Lady Gaga.
There you go.
Lady
Well,
Gaga.
she writes her own stuff, you know. But like, or someone like that, you know what I mean? Give it to a pop star is what I'm trying to say, you know? I mean, yeah, it could be a financial benefit or that, you know, but like, or an X Factor star or something like that. But it's not going to, you're not going to, if you're all about playing live, you're not getting that out of it, is what I'm saying, yeah.
No, I would agree. And I think that's a big part of it. Like, I was going to ask you just to, before we let you go, and this is it's kind of an interesting take on it, but if you were to helicopter out over all of the stuff that you've done, would you choose live performing versus having a hugely successful one song with Kobe, you know, in that time? What would you prefer? He's holding his head in his hands.
That's a good question.
Yeah,
that's a great question. It's funny actually. I watched this thing on YouTube where this guy he runs a company. He's asked questions, and every question he doesn't want to answer, he's like, "That's a great question.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking that." And he's obviously like free. He's just trying to get time to answer with a politician answer or something like that. You know, which I'm kind of doing now while I'm thinking about it. You know?
Is that right?
So I tell you what, when we were doing All the Way with Kobe, and we're recording it, and we're going to lots of meetings and stuff, that was exhilarating. And I mean, at one point, like people listen to this and they'll be like, "I'm sure he's making this up," but like one point, Biffy Clyro's manager, he wasn't going to manage us, but he was going to help us. You know, he was going to get involved and try and get us playing Germany and stuff like this. And we were speaking to Las Vegas's booking agent, and she was with a big firm. They were quite keen to take us on, and she introduced us to this accountant. I know it doesn't sound an accountant, you know, but the accountant like did all the books for the XX, and they had their album out and stuff like this. And so she took us to like a bank in Glasgow. We met her for the day and signed us up for a bank account, and said like these guys are going to make it and all this sort of stuff, you know, and all this like and Red Bull Records were quite keen to release like All the Way, even though lots of people said to us like that is actually I don't know if this is true. Allegedly, I better say, in case allegedly the label is a tax loss. Do you know what I mean? It was a small. So Red Bull had more money than sense at that time. So that's why they do all these like things that are great fun. You know, where the guy like goes up in the stratosphere and jumps down to the planet and stuff like that, which is quite terrifying. You ever see that video? That guy's actually unconscious for a bit, where he's like do you know what I mean? Like he wakes up and he's still falling. You know, it's like nope, it's not for me. But anyway. So that was really exhilarating and stuff, and I probably didn't feel that. So the band kind of ended because like life changed. I mean, like I got married and stuff like this, and my life changed, and our singer's interest maybe wasn't the same, you know. Like so it just kind of like fell apart. We did one last gig for the food bank with about 19 other bands in Mad Hires. Yeah. And I can't remember that. I think it might be the start of 2015 or something like that. Yeah. And that was it. Do you know what I mean? And so anyway, so like that, so that was a really good fun time in my life. And then I probably wasn't in a band again that I really enjoyed until I was in Space Fan. Yeah. But I've had such incredible memories with Space Fan. No, I think I would stick with a Space Fan of the line. Yeah. I wouldn't want to miss that. No.
Well, see, there you go. That's a very rational. Yeah. No, you did well with the political answer.
No.
You got there in the end.
Actually, so sorry, I felt like I'm not going to cry, but I felt a bit emotional when I said that at the end. Actually,
yeah. Well, no, but that's good though, Steve. I think because it comes across. Definitely, Space Fan feel really strong, and it's a lovely thing to be on the observational side of it. You know,
I mean, the Lucid Lyre journey's been interesting too, because like how I bought a camera last year and to do a photo shoot with Ricky for a side project he has called Mount Fear.
Yes,
which
that's
is
right.
which is well, it's totally he's done an album now with with one of the guys in Lucy Lars playing drums. Strangely, not the drummer, but the bass player also plays drums, and like Jack and so we did some photography in one of the cinemas Eden Court. And so I bought this camera to do that.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to have a camera, and then I've been out and I've done loads of stuff with them. I did some live shots of the Cortex and stuff.
Yes.
And this is the kind of personality I've got. So you're asking me what's next for me, and I'm already thinking about. I'm only a few months into doing this, and I think at some point I'm going to try and get some of these photographs on display, even in a cafe or something like this. And some people said to me, should you not wait and stuff like that? And no, I'm generally happy with this. And anyone I showed these photographs to, and even people I don't really know, they're like, I really like these. And don't get me wrong, there's everyone's got shots they're not happy with now. You know?
Yeah.
But I mean, the only thing I went into doing it was I saw other people going to gigs and taking 150 photos of a band, and I'm like, I'm not into this at all. I go and take 10. And if I get 3 I like, I'm happy. If I get 1 I like, I'm happy. But I'm not sifting my way through 200 things and hoping that I've caught something, you know?
I know.
Indeed.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, the meaningful photo, you're
Yeah. It's if I
absolutely.
can, it's in the eye of the beholder, you know?
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I don't think that photography thing would happen if it wasn't doing the Lucid Lyres thing, you know?
Yeah.
And and we were in London last year with them. They played in Islington. At the Hope and Anchor, which is quite an iconic place. It's the first place that Joy Division played. We played there with Space Fan as well. But I mean, it was amazing when I went there with Space Fan, but it's also nice for Lucid Lyres to go as well to London and be there, you know. And,
I saw that because I did see.
But it's quite a tight group, and the
Yeah.
guys came back from London just like fully ready to launch this album and stuff. You know, total you know. Feeling
exhilarated and
I think
motivated.
you use that word a lot, you know. But,
that's good. It's a good word.
But yeah, so that's musically where I'm at. The other thing that we talked about, Musicians Exchange Highland, I feel like I don't know if I want to use the word legacy because it's not really about let's remember Steve, but it's just I feel like I want to give a bit, and I'm also doing bass guitar lessons. I probably should mention that too. Yeah. And what's been really interesting with that is I've got people of all ages coming to me and learning bass, and I think my youngest student is 13, and my oldest is older, and they probably won't let me say their age. And I've got that many guys that come to me strangely and all this, which I think is quite encouraging. A lot of young females learning bass and stuff. Yeah. And I think Jim Kennedy said to me, he plays in lots of bands. Yeah. Everyone knows Jim. Jim goes, how are the bass players going? And he goes, honestly, man, I think in a year's time there'll be a fresh crop of bass players looking to join bands and stuff.
Yeah,
you know? And I was saying to them, yeah. And I've been showing them I'm not just showing them songs and stuff, and I show them songs and theory and stuff, but I'm also saying to them all the time, you know, if I was playing this in an F, this is all things you could play and stuff, you know. It's you know, you could write your own bass lines and stuff like this, you know, and all this, and a lot of them are taking that in, you know, and you know, so I'm trying to push the creativity side as well, you know, rather than
that's part of the teaching process, I suppose. And have you guys got an album as Space Fan?
No, not at all. So the Space Fan album will probably be so basically our plans are, we didn't really talk about it. Sorry to wrap this all up, but the plans are we're doing some gigs. In fact, I've not really told this to anyone that we're doing. The last 2 summers we've been to London and we've had an absolute ball, and then I said to the guys at the start of the meeting, I think we should go somewhere else, so we're going to go to Dublin this year.
Brilliant. Yeah. Great.
So we're going to go to that in the summertime. I've
got somebody who listens to this podcast who will be there to support you.
Oh wow, okay.
Claire and Vinny. Yeah,
okay,
they'll be there.
I look forward to meeting her.
Yeah.
You know, this is one of these times where you say something and then months later it happens.
She will be there. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
She loves a good bit of rock and
metal.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a while since I've been. We might all go.
Yeah.
We'll all go.
We'll all go.
You should do.
Oh my God, they're doing Inverness to Dublin flights. We'll be there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We didn't actually know it was going to happen, you know. And it's funny when that got posted. I saw someone online say, what's the point of this? You can get a flight to Belfast and get the train over, and then someone else wrote, or you could just fly straight to Dublin.
Yeah, exactly. Or you can just fly there.
Or we could all turn up and do part 2 of the podcast with the whole band.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The Temple Bar year round, Hills.
No, don't get into that. We're not going to the Temple Bar for that. No way, man. But yeah, let's do that. I think that's a great plan.
I've heard that in Dublin, the further you get away from table bar, the cheaper the Guinness gets.
And the better the Guinness gets.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
there's really good pubs
There you
in Dublin. Right, okay,
Yeah,
well,
okay.
we will keep an eye on that. We'll post up links for Space Van, Lucid
Yeah.
Liars, and the links to Spotify for Kobe and stuff like that as well.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
this is amazing.
Cool.
Thanks, Stephen Robertson,
Okay.
for your
Yeah.
attention and your
Yeah.
conversation.
We'll get our flights booked and
Yeah.
we'll see you across there.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot,
Awesome.
Steve.
Cheers.
It's been
Cheers.
really
Thanks,
good to hear
Steve.
you.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Yep. Lovely. That brings us to the end of this episode of Unheard, Music from the Highlands. If you enjoyed the music and stories today, be sure to check out the featured artist. You'll find links to their work in the show notes, along with more from the growing community of original musicians across the Highlands. For playlists, bonus content and updates on future episodes, head over to our website. And don't forget to follow or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, keep supporting local music and local music venues. And keep listening to the sounds rising from the hills. Take care. Catch you later.